Hi, I'm Ava Cole, 31, the kid who had to raise herself in Mesa, Arizona. My little house paid for in overtime and swallowed pride. Saturday night at a pizza joint, my parents, Mark and Linda, smiled sweet and dropped a grenade. Ava, give your house to your brother Ethan. His kids need a yard. The table clapped. I laughed razor thin. You want my sweat, my roof? Savannah, my sister-in-law, smirked like it was already hers. Noah and Lily licked cheese off their fingers. And me, I felt my chest cave in. Am I your daughter or your ate me? A good daughter sacrifices. That's what they said. If it were you, right here, right now, what would you do? And if this makes you angry, don't scroll, like, comment, and share. People need to see what family looks like when love has a price tag. I used to tell myself I was just helping out. That was the bedtime story I read to my own nervous system so I could sleep. It started with the light bill. Ava, the power company's threatening to shut us off, Ethan said, voice shaky, hero cape missing again. I paid it, then water, then a tire blowout, then a starter, then a transmission. You're a lifesaver, Savannah would purr, like gratitude was a coupon I could redeem someday. I told myself it was for Noah and Lily. I told myself a lot of things. The numbers became their own season of weather recurring storms. $80 grew into $120. $300 became $1,200. I didn't notice at first because I was sprinting overtime shifts, side gigs, any gig. I bought my little house with the scraps of my back. I ate noodles and called it minimalism. I stopped buying new clothes and called it sustainable. Meanwhile, every few months, Ethan called with a fresh emergency and I Venmo'd my peace and quiet. But then Paige, my friend who can sniff a lie buried under 4 spreadsheets, leaned across a coffee shop table and slid me her phone. You seen this? Ethan smiling in front of a brand new 4K TV, Savannah posing with a designer purse. The caption, manifested. We deserve nice things. My stomach flipped so hard, I thought it would crawl out of me. I stared at that photo and heard a sentence I couldn't unhear. I'm not family to them. I'm funding. That night, I opened my laptop like it was a coffin. Bank statements, charges, dates, names. And there it was, siphons I never authorized, streaming services tied to my card. A second phone line nested under my plan. How long? I whispered to the blinking cursor. Months. Over a year on some. A pattern, not a mistake. It hit me like a cold wave. I wasn't rescuing them. I was underwriting their lifestyle while calling it love. I thought about the pizza joint, Mark and Linda clapping, Ethan floating the idea that my house, my mortgage, my sweat should become his playpen, Savannah's smile like a sticky hand on my wallet. And me, I laughed that razor laugh because I could feel my spine hardening. A good daughter sacrifices, Moss likes to say. Here's my reply. A good daughter doesn't have to bleed to be loved. I shut every tab, then opened a new one called Boundaries. I put a number next to every transfer, every fix, every emergency. Paige helped me add it up. The total blinked back at me. Obscene. The kind of number that steals a vacation, a class, a year of therapy. I looked at it and felt sick and holy at the same time. Sick at them, holy that I finally saw it. If you've ever paid in silence, press pause and breathe with me. If this makes you angry, don't keep it to yourself, like comment, share it, so people hear the part no one posts, the slow theft of a daughter's future sold as family. Because the moment I saw that number, a fuse lit, and you're about to hear it burn. Morning came with a mission. I started with the utilities. Remove my payment method from any account under Ethan Cole, I told the rep. Click, gone. Streaming services passwords changed, profiles wiped. Who deleted the kid's profile? Me, the woman paying for your popcorn hour. Phone plan? I need to remove 2 lines, I said, hands trembling. The rep tried to upsell me. I laughed. No, sweetheart, we're downsizing. I hung up and felt the first clean breath in years. Then the phone rang. Mom, Ava, how could you do this to your brother? The script I knew by heart. The children need stability. Translation, keep paying. You got that house to yourself, Dad chimed in later. Tired voice, old playbook. Be reasonable. Reasonable? You tried to give away my home like it was a leftover slice. Ethan called, voice already wet. Sis, we're drowning. You always help. Savannah's whisper in the background, coaching him. Just this once. I pictured the TV, the purse, the caption. My spine found its steel. No, I said, and my voice surprised me. It was steady. You've had enough of me. Silence, then the real mask slipped. You embarrassed us at dinner, Ethan snapped. There it was, the truth, not gratitude, entitlement. I embarrassed you by telling the truth? I asked. He hung up. Next came Savannah's novel-length text. How can you sleep at night knowing Noah and Lily are cold? My thumb hovered. I didn't reply because of that line. That line is psychological warfare wrapped in baby pictures. And I was done being drafted. 10 minutes later, Facebook bloomed like a rash. Linda's public post. Some people forget what family means. Dad shared it, adding, raised a daughter who only cares about herself. Ethan commented, guess a house matters more than nieces and nephews. Savannah posted a photo of Noah and Lily looking sad on a couch. Caption, when family abandons you. I shook. Not because I believe them, because I used to say. That's the worst damage when their words twist your compass so long that north feels like guilt. I reported the posts. I made my profile private. I turned my phone face down and sat in the quiet. It rang anyway, the echo of old training. Be small, be generous, be useful. I decided to be something else. Free. If you're watching this and your hands are sweating because it sounds like your mother's voice, your brother's threats, comment, I hear you. Share this if someone you love is being shamed into servitude. Because here's the part the manipulators never planned for. The moment the target stops responding. I blocked numbers. I wrote one final text to the family chat. I will not fund your live. Do not contact me. Mom replied in under a minute. You'll regret this. Shock line, right? Here's mine. I regret the years I spent believing I had to pay to be loved. I hit block. The world didn't end. It went quiet. And in that quiet, another sound appeared, the sound of me finally choosing me. And as the silence deepened, consequence came knocking on their door, not mine. 2 months later, Paige called me at lunch. You sitting down? She never asked that unless the news is heavy. They got evicted, she said. Ethan and Savannah, motel on the edge of town. The image landed like a stone, flickering neon, thin walls, 2 kids sharing a pullout. My heart tugged toward Noah and Lily because they didn't sign any of those checks. But the tug didn't drag me under this time. I could feel 2 truths at once, compassion for the children and a boundary for the adults who use them as shields. Mom called one last time. Just help with the deposit, she pleaded, voice suddenly soft. For the kids. The old trapdoor. I pictured my spreadsheet of transfers, the streaming passwords, the second phone line they never asked to add, just did. I pictured the Facebook posts, the clapping at the pizza place, the sentence, a good daughter sacrifices, tattooed across my childhood. No, I said, and I didn't explain. Explanations are invitations to argue your dignity. While their life unraveled, mine started to take shape. I enrolled in a photography class at the community center, the one I'd postponed for years. Tuesday and Thursday nights, I drove with the desert bleeding gold across the sky. Camera on the passenger seat like a small, honest promise. The first time I nailed a shot cactus silhouetted against a sky so orange, it felt like a siren. I cried in my car. Not because of the picture, because it was the first thing I'd made in years that wasn't for someone else. I checked my bank app and didn't flinch. Money stayed where I left it. I planned a weekend at the Grand Canyon. I bought a pair of hiking boots without apologizing to a ghost. At home, I made a wall of photos, sunsets, hawks, the way shadows crawl over stucco at 6 p.m. My house stopped feeling like a prize I had to defend and started feeling like a body I lived in. People ask if I feel guilty when I hear updates. Ethan picking up a warehouse shift, Savannah adding hours at retail, the TV and console quietly sold. Here's my honest answer. I feel relief that reality is teaching them what I could never pay them to learn. And when I think of Noah and Lily, I send a prayer into the air that the adults around them grow up. Then I take another picture. Then I take another step. If you're still with me, if this story pressed on an old bruise, hit like so, the algorithm knows this matters. Drop a comment if you've drawn a line and survived the smear campaign. Share it for the person who needs language for their no, because the most shocking line in my story isn't what they said to me. It's what I finally said to myself. You don't have to bleed to be loved. I used to think family was a bill I'd pay forever. Now I know family is where love doesn't come with an invoice. My name is Ava Cole. I have a small house and a camera and a spine, and that finally is enough. Here's where I landed. I'm not angry anymore, just clear. I spent years paying to keep the peace, and all it bought me was silence I couldn't sleep in. When I finally said no, I realized love that needs a receipt isn't love, it's leverage. I still care about Noah and Lily. I always will. But caring about kids doesn't mean letting adults weaponize them against me. My therapist would call that untangling responsibility. I call it breathing. I learned that boundaries aren't walls, they're doors I choose when to open. I learned that guilt is a lousy GPS, and I learned that I'm allowed to build a life that doesn't bleed me dry one photo, one quiet dinner, one paid in full night of sleep at a time. So tell me honestly, am I in the wrong? Would you have handed over your house and kept paying? Or would you have drawn the line where I did? Drop your take in the comments because I want to hear it. If this hit a nerve, hit like so it reaches someone who needs the words. Share it with a friend still apologizing for saying no. And if you want the full story and what I did next, stick around, more's coming. Thanks for listening. I'm Ava, and I'm finally choosing me.